Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're all feeling awesome today. I just want to thank you all for stopping by to check out a video. It's always very much appreciated. In this review, we have a comedy to talk about called What Men Want. It's starring Taraji P. Henson and Aldous Hodge. I'm going to let you know where this movie succeeded for me. I'm going to tell you where it fell short, and most importantly, I'm going to let you know if it's a comedy that delivers some laughs. So let's get started. What Men Want is the gender swap story of What Women Want from 2000 that starred Mel Gibson and Helen Hunt. In this one, Taraji P. Henson plays a sports agent that unexpectedly, of course, gains the ability to hear what men are thinking, and that's something that can either come in handy for her male-dominant profession or hinder it. Now, this could be an interesting review down in the comments section, because when looking up the cast names and the details on IMDb to prep for this video, I noticed that the film already had a very low 2.6 rating based on over 450 votes when I last looked, and that tells me that there's a chance a lot of people are possibly rating this film low prior to even seeing it, and I get that. This movie is going to have a lot of people off the bandwagon prior to checking it out, and that's a person's prerogative if they so choose. Not every film is going to be to everybody's taste, and when taking an old story and just gender swapping it, many are going to view it as a lazy attempt at trying to create a new story from an old one, which this movie never denies trying to do. But it's Hollywood. Flipping and flopping and cutting and pasting happens every day in this business, so for that aspect, I just went into this movie with a blank slate and zero preconceived notions, simply hoping to watch a story that could make me laugh. And sure, many are going to take offense to the generalization of a film claiming to know what a certain sex is thinking and feeling, but this is a formulaic comedy focusing on the stereotypes, not actually claiming to know solid thoughts of the other sex. This is just a recreational comedy built to deliver simple laughs off of cliche generalizations. It's not a deep dive written by a Nobel Prize winning psychologist that's exploring cognitive thinking or mental processes of male and female brain patterns, because honestly, that's not going to make up for a very fun comedy. And I apologize for running on there. I just heard myself in my head. I definitely did take the wordy route when I could have just said this is a movie not to be taken seriously, but I still think everything I just said sounded pretty damn good, so I'm going to leave it in regardless. But for that aspect, as a male going into this movie, I went in looking for laughs, not looking for inaccuracies to be offended by, and I honestly laughed a lot throughout this movie, which is what a comedy should be focused on delivering. And I've told you guys many times, I'm a person that can find enjoyment from a wide range of humor, and this one did work for me. Sure, there are a ton of generic attempts at humor and some crude jokes that many are going to call juvenile, but I also thought there was a collection of genuinely amusing scenes that had me laughing my ass off. The story follows many genre and plot tropes, and sure, there isn't really a ton of unpredictability in this one to grab onto. It does run a little bit long as well, and it also gets a little cute at times, particularly in the closing act. It also does force the humor in many instances, but a ton of good comedies have forced humor, and a ton of good comedies will have forced humor. So for me, the amount of material that is able to hit with laughter is what counts, and this one had me laughing, it had me grinning, it had me chuckling, and it had me invested in the routine story and connected to the routine characters, primarily because of the performance from Henson and a majority of the supporting cast. I thought Henson provided the film with a very charming and energized lead. I thought she was comical in both her delivery of the dialogue and with her physical acting. She was just very expressive and animated with her gestures and her mannerisms, and it just sold me on her comical reactions to all the different situations thrown at her throughout the story. And I mean, there's no denying we can see her character arc before even watching the movie, but I still think Henson was able to carry this film on her shoulders, and like I mentioned earlier, the supporting cast around her was pretty solid as well. I thought Aldous Hodge as the love interest felt very natural and comfortable in the role, and he was able to land some very just fun, amusing, authentic, reactionary humor as well. I really enjoyed Josh Brenner as her assistant. I felt he landed some good laughs, as at times he deals with these situations alongside Henson in the story. I thought Richard Roundtree came in with a very subtle but capable performance as her father. I really liked their scenes together. They had a great chemistry. They were the most genuine relationship in the movie. They made a solid impression on me. Tracy Morgan, he was just kind of being Tracy Morgan. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't, but regardless, even if this is a recycled story with plug-and-play character types, I think the cast was able to really pump some fun life into all the supporting characters to keep the pace and the flow going. So despite this movie not feeling overly unique, I guess you could say, I still thought it showed some effort in trying to spin the dialogue to create some fresh humor out of it. Some of it does succeed, some of it definitely doesn't, but I laugh frequently throughout this movie, and I'm going to have to give What Men Want a solid 70% on the entertainment meter. I will will say, if you go and you watch the trailers and what you see, if it's funny to you, then definitely give it a shot, because the trailers, they got a chuckle out of me, and this movie ended up giving me exactly what I was expecting, and I had much more fun with it than I thought I would. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you all. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. The link to my official website, all my social media and merchandise store links are going to be down in the description below. And in the event, me talking to you guys about movies every couple days is not enough Anthony in your life, I now have a second YouTube channel with a growing collection of non-movie related content for you guys to check out, and I'll see you guys next time.